What I'm about to show you will make you nauseous every time you open Twitter or Instagram or any news feed. Washington, D.C. isn't just America's political capital. It's the world's most efficient factory at creating people, personas, digital identities that look real but are as fake as a $3 bill. And that factory? It's hiring right now. And maybe, just maybe, you've already interacted with one of their products without knowing. Imagine a windowless building downtown. Inside, 200 people sit at screens. Each one controls 30, 40, sometimes 50 different accounts. One 23-year-old woman is simultaneously Karen, conservative mom from Texas, Marcus, progressive war veteran, and Dr. Chen, retired immunologist. This isn't conspiracy theory. These are signed contracts, billions in budget, elections being decided not by votes, but by engagement. A persona isn't a bot. Bots are amateur hour. A persona has a life story, has trauma, has photos of breakfast, has an ex-husband who never understood her, has a dog named Max. She posts 12 times a day, comments on celebrity posts with perfect timing, has opinions on the weather, on the pizza from that new joint, on last night's Bachelor episode. All so that on the exact right day, she can sell you an idea, a candidate, a product, a revolution. The secret? No one goes viral naturally. The factory works in 3 phases. Phase 1, the planting. They create the account, post for 90 straight days about harmless stuff, plants, recipes, cat memes. Zero politics, zero controversy. Phase 2, the transition. Day 91, an innocent post. My kid came home from school asking about hot topic. Parents, are you dealing with this too? Subtle opening, testing reactions. Phase 3, the harvest. Now the persona has 50,000 followers who've been talking to her for months. When she says, I'm worried about this new bill, you believe her. When she shares that article, you click. When she leaves Twitter due to harassment, you feel sorry for her. And you never discover that Karen, Marcus, and Dr. Chen share the same IP address and the same source of payment. In 2022, a single DC lobbying firm billed $37 million for digital perception management. The client? A pharmaceutical conglomerate needing organic advocacy for a new drug. Translation? They paid to create 8,000 online personas who suffered from that specific disease, who shared their journey, who found hope in that $700 a month medication. Result? Sales increased 340%. Complaints about side effects? Buried under authentic stories of overcoming. An insider who left the factory told me, we call it the Romeo and Juliet project. We'd create 2 personas with opposite opinions in the same debate. They'd fight online for weeks. Followers picked sides. And at the climax, both found the same solution. Both sides arrived at the conclusion our client wanted. That's the sick genius. You don't force an opinion. You fabricate a fight and let people choose the predetermined outcome. It's not just people at desks. It's an ecosystem. AI that writes posts based on the persona's emotional history. Deepfake photo banks of family vacations. Schedulers that post at the exact moment your brain is most vulnerable, usually 2 a.m. when you're lying awake scared about the future. Engagement pods, rooms where 100 operators instantly like and comment on each other, creating false popularity. Now you're thinking, I'm smart, I can spot this. No, you can't, because the factory doesn't want to sell to you today. It plants a seed that germinates 18 months from now when you're deciding about something completely different. Your favorite cooking persona might, in 2025, post about discovering a new education system, and you, who's followed her for 2 years, will think, If she trusts it, I trust it. That's the long game. They're not playing chess. They're planting an entire forest, so you only see one tree. Result? We don't know what's real anymore. 2023 study, 68% of Americans believe they interacted with a manufactured persona online in the last 6 months. But when asked for specific examples, they could only correctly identify 12%. What that means? They know they're being deceived, but can't tell where. This creates paranoia. This creates distrust even of your aunt on Facebook. It's the death of real dialogue. It's not politicians, it's 29-year-old consultants making $400,000 a year for narrative architecture. It's companies with generic names, Clear Perception LLC, Authentic Voices Group, Citizen Bridge Partners. They're ex-Cambridge Analytica interns who learned from their mistakes. Now they don't need to steal your data. You hand it over when you follow a persona that understands your fears. Let me give you a real example happening right now. In the last 3 weeks, 14 new Twitter accounts gained traction talking about single-parent burnout. All post at 7:13 a.m., the exact time single parents check their phones before coffee. All share an article from a site called Parent Voices Daily, a site created 19 days ago. The article praises a new parental leave policy from a specific candidate. You follow 3 of these accounts. You think they're real moms. You share. And just like that, a DC factory used your authenticity to sell a narrative. So, what do? First, distrust consistency. Real people are inconsistent. They post stupid stuff. They delete. They have good days and bad days. Personas are surgically consistent. Second, test them. Comment something off script. If the response feels like it came from a call center, that's because it did. Third, look for patterns. Download that account's posts that you love. You'll see the perfect narrative arc. No real person has a perfect narrative arc. Fourth, and most important, never make a decision based on one source. Whenever someone online convinces you of something, pause and ask, does Taryn from Texas even exist? Here's the most sinister part. There are real people with real stories being swallowed by this machine. The actual single mom trying to share her trauma gets called a bot. The war veteran with a legitimate opinion gets discredited. The factory poisons the well, so no one drinks from the water of truth anymore. So I ask you, from now on, every time you see a post that touches you deeply, enrages you, or makes you think, finally, someone understands, pause, breathe, and remember that factory in DC that makes millions manufacturing exactly that feeling. The internet is dead. What's left are controlled versions of reality sold to the highest bidder. And if you're watching this and work in one of those factories, maybe it's time to grow a conscience. Because what you're doing isn't marketing, isn't strategy. It's the murder of authenticity. And one day, someone will find your address. So, Karen from Texas, you gonna have the guts to look in the camera and explain why you don't exist? Subscribe if you want to know how to spot personas in 30 seconds. Comment if you've ever suspected an account, and share this before the factory dismisses it as conspiracy theory. Because the truth is, the biggest conspiracy is that they don't exist. See you next time, if you're real.